There's a distinction worth making about group mentor coaching. Most mentor coaches I've worked with either avoid it entirely, too complicated, I'll stick with one-on-one, or they default to the one approach they've seen before. The problem with both, you're leaving development on the table. ICF defines 4 distinct approaches to group MC. Each serves a different learning purpose. Knowing when to use which one is what separates a mentor coach who runs groups from one who facilitates group learning. Before we talk approaches, the non-negotiables. ICF has specific requirements that must be met for group hours to count toward credentialing. These aren't guidelines, they're hard requirements, and getting them wrong is not a gray area. If the ratio is off, or the focus drifts from skill development, or the hours exceed the group ceiling, your client's credential application has a problem. These are the structural constraints that every group MC session must satisfy before you choose an approach. Ratio: at least 1 qualified mentor coach for every 10 MC clients. Maximum. Focus: developing coaching skills in alignment with ICF core competencies. If the group session drifts into business development or peer supervision or case consultation, those hours don't count. Hours: up to 7 of the 10 required MC hours can be group format. At least 3 must remain one-on-one. Intake and closing sessions still count toward the total. Exceed the ratio, lose the focus, or miscalculate the split, and your client's credential application has a problem. Know the numbers. 4 approaches from the MCS handbook. Each is a distinct tool for different learning goals. Approach 1, the group listens to a member's recorded session. Then the group discusses strengths and development areas. The MC facilitates, but the group is the primary feedback source. Best for building the group's observation skills and shared competency vocabulary. Approach 2, same setup. Group listens to a recording together, but the MC provides the feedback while the group observes. Best for modeling what competency-based feedback sounds like, especially early in an engagement. Approach 3, 2 members conduct a live peer coaching session while the group watches. Then the MC debriefs with feedback. Highest intensity for the coaching pair. Approach 4, same live coaching setup, but the group discusses what they observed instead of the MC debriefing. Highest learning density across all participants. Say you're running a group MC program for 6 coaches, all PCC candidates. Session 2, most of them have never observed someone else receive competency-based feedback. 1 member volunteers her recording. The group listens together. Which approach? If you jump to approach 1 and ask the group to discuss, you'll get 6 opinions at 6 different levels of quality. That was really good coaching isn't helpful. Instead, approach 2. The group listens, then you deliver the feedback while they observe. You're modeling what competency-referenced, evidence-based feedback sounds like. By session 4, when they've watched you do it 3 times, you shift to approach 1 and let the group lead. Now their discussion has a model to follow. Different situation. 4 experienced mentor coaches in an MCS cohort. They already deliver feedback in their own MC practices. Approach 4 is where the real learning lives. 2 members run a live peer coaching session while the other 2 observe. Then the whole group discusses what they saw: strengths, growth areas, competency demonstrations. Everyone's appraisal skills sharpen because everyone is observing the same coaching in real time, and the coaching pair gets multiple perspectives instead of just yours. Their feedback on each other sharpens everyone's formative appraisal skills. They are not just receiving MC, they are practicing the MC competencies themselves. That recursive learning is what makes Approach 4 the most developmentally dense option in your toolkit. A common trap: group of 8. One member is significantly more experienced. She's an MCC seeking MCS, while the rest are PCCs. If you default to Approach 1, her voice will dominate. Not because she's pushy, but because her observations are sharper and the group defers to her. You might use Approach 2 to equalize the dynamic. Your feedback is the focus, not any single member's superior observation skills. Or pair her with a less experienced member in Approach 3, where the peer dynamic itself becomes a learning conversation. The progression matters. Early in a group engagement, Approach 2 models what good feedback looks like. As the group matures, shift toward Approaches 1 and 4 so the group leads. Approach 3 is highest stakes for the coaching pair. Use it when there's enough psychological safety for live performance. Rotating deliberately is part of the learning design. Using the same approach every session because it works develops one skill set while leaving others untouched. 3 mistakes that undermine group MC. Using the same approach for every session because it's comfortable. Each approach develops different capabilities. Deliberate rotation is the design, not variety for its own sake. Exceeding the 10:1 ratio and assuming nobody will notice. The ratio is a hard requirement for credentialing purposes. Your client's application depends on it. Treating group MC as cheaper one-on-one MC. It's a different modality with different learning mechanisms. The group itself is the learning instrument. The 4th mistake is confusing group MC with group coaching or group supervision. If the session focuses on the coach's personal challenges rather than their coaching skill development against ICF core competencies, those hours do not count toward the credential. The purpose defines the format. Skill development is always the anchor. All 4 approaches qualify as group MC hours toward credentialing, provided the ratio and skill development requirements are met. Remember the ceiling: maximum 7 of 10 hours in group format. The remaining 3 must be one-on-one. That's the requirement we covered in Module 2. The 4 approaches give you the what. But running a group MC session isn't just about picking an approach. It's about the 6 people in the room, their dynamics, their power differentials, their varying comfort with vulnerability. That's facilitation. And it's where every competency you've developed across this course comes together.